welcome back to my channel. So I want to try to film this video super quickly because my mom is over and she hijacked my child for a few minutes. So Riley, as of now, won't be in this video, but I wanted to really quickly film a video all about like the ways that motherhood has changed me. At this point, I'm 6 weeks postpartum, and having Riley has honestly, like, it's just been the most amazing thing in the whole world. And I don't say that just because like she's my kid. It's like the whole reality of being a mom and like caring for someone else. It's just, I don't know, it's been a really great experience and something that I have absolutely loved every minute of. But now that I've been in this role for about 6 weeks, I thought it'd be fun to kind of talk about like some of the things that have changed, because I have a lot of friends who are currently pregnant or who will soon be pregnant, friends of mine who are trying. And so I just figured it'd be fun to just kind of share some of my experience with you guys. So one of the first things that I think has changed is, obviously, I don't have time for anything. You know, when I was pregnant, everyone used to keep telling me that I wasn't gonna have any time for myself anymore, that everything was gonna be about the baby. And like, I guess like in a way I did listen to them. Like, I acknowledged that I was gonna have a lot less time, but I just never knew like to the extent that I was not gonna have any time. Like, the majority of my day consists of trying to get Riley to go to sleep, or feeding her, or, you know, she'll be crying and I'm trying to figure out why she's crying, so she stops. You know, I'm changing her diaper, I'm doing her laundry, I'm folding her laundry, I'm bathing her. Like, everything in my life pretty much revolves around her these days, which is fine. But again, there's only so many hours in the day, and most of them have to do with taking care of her now. So the time that I used to have to just like sit down and like read a book or sit down and watch TV, I still get to watch TV when I'm feeding her, but just there's a lot less downtime. Like, I'm not able to just like sit down and relax and take a nap whenever I want. It's just different. So yeah, things are just a little bit more chaotic, which again, I expected, but I never thought it would be as chaotic and hectic as it actually is. With that being said though, I find that now that I'm a mom, I feel like I've been more productive with my time. And I feel like I don't just let the hours pass without doing anything. So I do feel like I'm more productive, which is weird because I have less time to do stuff, but I'm doing more stuff. And I don't know how that makes any sense, but what I think has happened is, since I know that I don't have as much free time, any little bits of free time that I get, I'm like, okay, I have to do something productive here. I have to use this time to do something that's on my to-do list. So I feel like that's been nice. You know, before Riley was born, I guess I figured that I had all the time in the world, and like anything that I needed to get done, like I can do it whenever. Like, you know, I have a million hours to do it and I'll do it when I get to it. And that was kind of like the attitude I had about a lot of things. But what I found is, like, having that attitude, I actually wouldn't get a lot of stuff done. Like, I just keep postponing things and postponing things. So now that I know that I can only get stuff done like when she's down for a nap or when Joe's watching her really quick, like, I actually use that time that I have to get things done. So it's actually been really nice. I'm also a lot more aware of germs, and I think it's funny because before I had Riley, like, I'm not a germaphobe at all. Like, I don't believe in germs, or I didn't believe in germs. Like, 5-second rule, 10-second rule, 1-minute rule, whatever. Like, I don't know. I've just never been like a neat freak or a germ freak. But now having Riley, that has changed. I'm not like super OCD about it, but I'm definitely more concerned about like washing my hands more and using hand sanitizer. And especially with her, you know, I want to make sure that anyone who's touching her or freaking looking at her, that they've sanitized their hands. The last thing that I want is for her to catch a cold, even though I know eventually she's gonna catch a cold and I'm gonna have to deal with it. But she's only 6 weeks old. I really want to avoid her getting sick. And it's really hard right now because we're at the peak of flu season. This year, the flu for some reason is like super hyped up. Like, the flu is everywhere. Everywhere that I go, I'm learning that like one of my friends or somebody that I know has the flu, and it's all over the news. And it's scary because a lot of kids have already died from this year's flu outbreak. So again, I'm just trying to be a little bit more protective than I normally would be, because I really just don't want for her to get sick like that. Another thing that I've noticed is that I am super emotional. I guess I have always been like an emotional person, but like I freaking cry now about like even like the smallest thing. And not like a sad cry, not like I'm depressed or like anything like that, but you know, I'll watch a commercial that has to do with like a mom and like a daughter, and like I'll start bawling. Anything that has to do with like a kid growing up makes me just like want to cry for hours. Like I don't even want to talk too much about it in this video, because if not, I'm gonna get super emotional and start crying. But it's like I have this little 6-week-old baby, and I'm already crying and sad about the fact that one day she's gonna grow up and be big and not need me anymore. So it's like I'm just very emotional about that, even though I know I have a long way to go. But still, it's just I'm very, very emotional, but I'm trying to deal with that. The other thing that I have noticed is that I do want to spend a little bit more time like doing my hair or doing my makeup, which is weird because again, you'd think that I'd have less time to do those things, so that would probably be like the first thing that like I don't really get to do. But I actually find myself wanting to do my makeup and wanting to get somewhat dressed up so that I look like a decent normal human, just because like it makes me feel better. It makes me feel like I'm part of society, because I've been home now for 6 weeks, and you know, I was used to like going out and going to work and driving and being around a bunch of people. So now that I'm home, like legit, I could just be in a robe and my slippers with no makeup, no hair done for weeks at a time, and no one would know because I don't leave here. But I have tried to like just prioritize that a little bit. It makes me feel better. It helps with like my overall self-esteem. It helps me just like my mood. It makes me feel like a little bit less of a homeless person. So that's something that has changed since I've had Riley. I've also noticed that I've like actually wanted to eat better. Even when I was pregnant, I wasn't eating super clean. I love sweets, I love carbs, I love all kinds of things that I'm not supposed to enjoy. I love like the most fattening foods. I love coming home and having like candy and chocolate, and like that's what I've craved. Like that's what I craved my entire pregnancy. I craved sweets and ice cream. Honestly, I ate a lot of it, which is amazing because I didn't gain that much weight considering how poorly I ate during my pregnancy. But now that she's here, and now like that I've been able to hold her in my hands and like see her, I guess it's kind of like sunk in the fact that like I'm breastfeeding her, and so like the nutrients that I'm eating, you know, pass on to her. And so I found that I have wanted just to eat better and eat healthier. And so Joe and I right now, we are like meal prepping and eating healthier foods, and I don't know, it hasn't been as hard to do it as like when I haven't had her and like when I haven't been pregnant. Like every other time that I tried to do any kind of a diet or any kind of cleanse or just eat a little bit better just for myself, I have had zero motivation, and like it would only last like a week or two at most. So now that I have a baby, now that I'm a mom, I don't know, I just feel like a little bit more responsible for what I put in my body and like what it does to me and what it does to her. So that has been nice too, because it has helped me to lose some of my baby weight. I also appreciate the outdoors a lot more now that I'm a mom, just because I don't see it very often. So now every single time that I go out for like a walk, or when Joe and I are together and like we actually take a trip somewhere outside, it's nice. And I'm like, wow, this is nature. And I like, you know, just being able to be outside and like to feel the fresh air. And I don't know, I enjoy being outdoors a lot more than I used to, just because of the simple fact that I don't see outside very much. Another thing that I have noticed is that before I had Riley, I did want to buy a lot of things. Like I was very much caught up in like buying tons of clothes and buying tons of things for like the house, and just like that consumer mentality of like needing to buy tons of stuff, like scrolling through my Instagram feed and seeing like pretty sweaters and things, like I wanted to have them too. Now that I'm a mom, I don't know, like I feel, obviously my priorities have changed, and I just feel like I have everything that I need. And I know that that sounds so corny, but I feel like I don't need anything else. Like I have my beautiful baby, I have my husband, like this is our family, and like that's really all that I need in order to be content, in order to be happy. Obviously there have been things that I've need to buy like for her. We've honestly bought a ton of stuff in these first couple of weeks just because we were trying to figure out what she liked and like what kind of contraption she was gonna like to sleep in. There were a lot of things that we needed to buy just to make sure that she was comfortable. that we hadn't bought before she arrived. But other than that, like, I haven't felt the need to like go on a shopping spree. I haven't felt the need to just buy things and buy things and buy accessories and shoes and purses. And I just, not knocking you if that's what you like to do and you have tons of money to do it, but I have had to like just rearrange my priorities, especially now that, you know, I'm not working right now. We're adjusting to living off of just one income, which means that there's obviously not as much money coming in like just to play with, but I haven't even really felt the need to do that. I feel really content with what I have. I also have so much more respect for women than I ever had. Like, not that I didn't have respect for women before, but just being a mom now, it's like, it's really amazing. Just like all of the stuff that moms do and that women do. I especially have so much respect for single moms out there because, I mean, I'm not a single mom. Like, Joe helps me, Joe is here, and I'm not even working at this point, and I'm still like going crazy. Like, my brain is fried all the time, I'm exhausted, and that's that I have help. So I have so much respect for the women who raise a child by themselves, who get pregnant, give birth, and then go back to work, you know, a couple weeks after, or some of them right away, just because they have to make ends meet. So for all of those women who do that and who still manage to raise a child all by themselves, I don't know how you guys do it. I have so much respect for you. And just basically just for moms everywhere, like, it's not an easy job at all. It's very time consuming, very exhausting. And I've only been doing this for 6 weeks, so I can only imagine. But props to you guys. You know, with being a mom, there seems to come like so much judgment because like there's so many different ways of doing things and so many different ideas of like what's best for raising kids and things like that. I found myself judging a lot of women before I was pregnant, like, you know, you're not supposed to do that, or why are you co-sleeping, or why are you eating this, or why are you not breastfeeding, or why are you breastfeeding? Like, I found myself questioning so many things and just like being judgmental about a lot of things, honestly. But now that I'm a mom, I feel like everyone's just doing the best that they can, and everyone has their own opinion about things, and everybody, you know, is kind of doing what they think is best for their child, and you kind of got to do what you got to do. Despite the fact that everything is a hot mess in my house, I do feel like I am a little bit more organized because, like, going back to what I said about not having a lot of time to do things, before I used to kind of just like do whatever I wanted whenever I wanted to do it. If I got around to like making the bed, or if I got around to folding laundry, I kind of would, and if I didn't, whatever. But I never really had a plan about my day. I never really knew what kind of tasks I wanted to accomplish. Now I've gotten a lot more organized, and I have a planner, and every morning or the night before, I'll plan out and I'll write down the things that I want to accomplish, and I'll write down my goals for the next day. Some of those things are just like do a load of laundry or exercise a little bit. Like, I have some arm weights that I've been using just so that I can get like a quick workout in, or unload the dishwasher, or work on a blog post that I need to work on. Like, I make a list for the day, and then a lot of times I don't get to everything that's on my list. I think I'm a little bit ambitious with my list, and so a lot of the things do end up carrying over to the next day, but I feel like I at least have some kind of a plan, and I'm just a little bit more organized, and that has made me, I don't know, just feel somewhat sane. But yeah, overall, just being a mom, it's been an amazing experience. It's absolutely incredible just to think that Riley was inside of me just 6 weeks ago, and now there's this tiny human that I'm responsible for. And it's scary too, because it's a lot of pressure. Like, it's a lot of pressure to make sure that she, you know, doesn't hurt herself, and like everything. Like, I'm always checking on her to make sure that she's breathing, and like, God forbid something, you know, if she hits her head, or like, I want to do everything in my power to protect her. And like, now she's at the point where she's smiling, and when that baby girl looks at me and smiles, like, that is the most beautiful thing in the world to me. It makes me so happy to see her smile at me, and like, not just like smiling, like I'll start talking to her and then she starts smiling, and it's just like knowing that I'm making her happy like that is just like, it's just so cool. I'm also having a lot more coffee than I used to. I used to not need coffee like to survive. Like, if I had coffee, great, but it's not like something that I needed. Now these last few weeks, I need my coffee. Like, I wake up in the morning, I'll feed her, kind of get her down for her first nap if she's ready to go down for a nap, and then I will go to the kitchen and get my coffee because I need it. Alright guys, so that's it. I will be filming a 2-month update in just a couple of weeks, so I'll let you guys know how Riley's doing, and I'm hoping to get a few more videos in here in the next couple weeks as well, so stay tuned for those. And if you enjoy these videos, if you like seeing these kind of motherhood updates, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!